Tom and Jerry is the latest live-action, computer-animated slapstick comedy film that's been released on HBO Max, as well as in theaters now as well. This is the latest project from director Tim Story, who's also given us Barbershop, both of the 2000s Fantastic Four films, both ride-along films, and I found out they're making another one somehow after this, and as well as Think Like a Man. The movie stars Chloe Grace Moretz, Michael Pena, Colin Jost, Rob Delaney, and Ken Jeong. Tom and Jerry takes place in New York City because it's clearly one of the only cities in the entire continental United States that filmmaking takes place in. But yes, we find Tom and Jerry migrating to the Big Apple to start a new life, only to both end up coincidentally at the Royal Get Hotel. There we are introduced to Chloe Grace Moretz, who plays Kayla Forrester, a young, sleazy finesser woman who begins a temp job for the hotel under the supervision of Michael Pena, who plays Terrence Mendoza, an event manager. They're both working to set up in preparation for a high-profile wedding when Jerry is discovered roaming around the hotel, to which Kayla recruits Tom to kick Jerry out of the hotel. And the chaos ensues, as it naturally does, with the two animal cartoon characters. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, obviously I don't think anyone was expecting this film to end up being some surprising, well-adored family gem. It's not. It's far from it. But at the same time, I would lie to you guys if I didn't say I had some quality laughs in some parts of the film. I have varying thoughts about this film, but I think I'll just start off with the negatives first and lead into the positives on this one. First and foremost, the film's structure and focus is uneven as hell and just all over the damn place. For a movie titled Tom and Jerry, starring the titular characters Tom and Jerry, there isn't nearly enough Tom and Jerry on the actual screen. They're in it throughout the entire of the film, but the story places a much heavier emphasis and center of attention on the human characters that just overshadows our two beloved fiends when it's literally their show to steal here. The human characters are, for the most part, also just the barest minimum surface level stereotypes of the given role that they play. But my god, do they do my woman Chloe Grace Moretz so dirty in this one. She is given such horrible, cringy, and over-the-top lines that just come off as blatantly awkward and not funny whatsoever. She looks visibly confused at the camera and in no clue what she's doing sometimes. And even though that is her role, to be this dumb blonde that ends up getting a gig of a lifetime, even just Moretz can't save face on this one. She appears lost, like she's trying to find something literally right in front of her, but she just can't open her eyes or something. It's crazy. As I mentioned, the film is all over the place, and it's because it has so many little subplots going on between Tom and Jerry's rivalry, Moretz talking to the animals and communicating with them, Pena trying to fire Moretz befriending the wedding couple, and said couple going through stupid and underwritten relationship issues. That right there, I just gave you a 1-to-4 ratio of how much Tom and Jerry is in here, which is only 20% of the story. It's all being carried by the thinnest of threads, just enough to give kids and adults a passable story. I don't even think kids will learn a message or anything from this film, really. Maybe besides how to steal someone's resume and impersonate them. That's right, that's exactly how Moretz's character gets the temp job, in which she pretends to be the employer to a diligent, hardworking woman that's about to be interviewed, convinces her to give her a copy of the resume, dismisses her, and then successfully takes the job from her. Personally, that was one of the funniest savagery moments in Tom and Jerry for me. I took it the way it was presented as a hilarious finessing segment, but at the same time, I can easily see how even this one scene alone can be very, very off-putting for a parent to watch with his kid. On the last negative note, the music choices in this film, I don't know what is going on, but I read prior to reviewing this film that the director, Tim Story, had actually directed some 2000s, early 2000s hip-hop music, including from artists like Timbaland and Eve. But I don't know if he's stuck in the past or something. There's just a lot of weird and jarring hip-hop and rap genre soundtracks here. They even include random bird characters voiced by black actors to sing the songs and narrate the simplistic story that I guess the audience can't follow somehow. I don't know who's letting them get away with all of this. So that was the bad stuff, but there are some good things to still mention and give credit where credit is due on this project. Do the jokes hit? Half and half. I enjoy the humor in the first act of the film very much. There were a handful of consistently good laugh segments there. And most of them come from Michael Pena, who, in comparison to Moretz, he's given some of the funniest and impeccably timed jokes here, and just steals the show, carries it on his back, so kudos to his performance. Tom and Jerry's cartoon slapstick humor is very, very hit and miss. I like that they took some exact stuff from the cartoons though, like to the point where I could visually remember the exact same cartoon reference that they took it from the TV series. It was also a cool nod to include characters from the show like Spike, Toots, Butch and the Cat Gang are all in here, and again, it was a nice, neat, and great inclusion of familiar faces. The animation of Tom and Jerry and all the animals as well is suitable. It fits well enough so it's never a distraction, and it looks visually congruent with the direction, especially of the chase sequences here. If anything, I thought multiple times in my head how this film would actually really benefit being a 3D film. Maybe even make it a better viewing experience, because there's definitely some parts that would be eye-popping, but unfortunately it's only in the 2D format. All in all though, Tom and Jerry is underwhelming as a whole, with an unfocused structure on the childhood characters that most people want to come to see. Minus Michael Pena, the human characters are lackluster, the story elements make sense for the sake of stretching this movie into an hour and 40 minutes, and the slapstick humor is mediocre at best. Still, for the adult humor, if you take the jokes as they are and don't think too much of them, I had some laughs. Some scenes had some snively or shrewd jokes that adults can enjoy, but there's not much to do once you finish. It's a one and done sort of watch. I give Tom and Jerry a 4.5, and I only recommend it if you enjoy the cartoons as a kid. You could give this a quick watch, or if there's nothing else to watch in your movie library, you could throw this one on as well. Until next time though, I hope you guys enjoy.